This time on Animal Airport,
Hello.
Stuart meets some VIPs, very important parrots. Work experience Joe faces the music.
I hope I've done enough to impress them.
And Anne heads to Germany to split up a warring wolf pack. London Heathrow, one of the world's busiest airports. Every year, 500,000 flights arrive and depart, carrying 70 million human passengers and 40 million animals and fish. And while humans report to passport control, the animals head to the Animal Reception Centre, known as the Ark. Recently, an elderly exotic bird collector died, leaving a Javan whistling thrush and a fawn-breasted bowerbird with no one to look after them. So the experts at the Ark stepped in. Bowerbirds come from Papua New Guinea and Australia. This is one of only 4 in Europe. A home and a potential mate have been found in Germany. The whistling thrush is going too. After 3 weeks at the Ark, it's time for the birds to leave. Driving them to their new home will be animal transport specialist Matt Ford.
The bowerbirds in zoos, there's 4 known ones, including this one. The other 3 are in Germany. And the whistling thrush, I think there's something like 2 or 3. So they're both going to come with us today out to Wuppertal in Germany.
Accompanying Matt and the birds on their journey will be Animal Health Officer Anne. First job, catch the birds using soft nets. They can then put them into travelling boxes for the journey.
Now, Anne is going to use all her skill and abilities to net them out of the box and pop them into the boxes.
This is the thrush, yeah. Okay. Perfect.
The thrush was relatively simple.
This one bites.
Yeah, that's all right. Oh, I see you now.
But the bowerbird has other ideas.
That was shiny. Sorry, Matt. Well done. There's a hole in that net.
Yeah, I know.
Pesky bird.
2 birds ready to go.
But once they're in there in the dark, they'll just settle down.
Matt, Anne and the birds can now start their long journey to Wuppertal in Germany.
We always go out in twos, and then that way, if the driver gets taken sick or something happens, we don't end up with animals that are stranded somewhere in Europe or on a long journey.
Matt and Anne aren't just taking the birds to their new home. They've got passengers for the return trip.
When we get to Wuppertal, we're bringing back 4 wolves. They've got about 9 or 10 wolves in total, I think. The group's basically broken down, the family group that was there, and these 4 unfortunately have been evicted.
The wolf pack at Wuppertal Zoo have begun fighting each other, so they have to be split into 2 new packs.
They couldn't find home for them anywhere in Germany at all. So for those animals, the best thing to do is move, and they'll get a nice enclosure they're moving into.
And if the wildlife bus wasn't full enough, Matt and Anne will also be transporting 4 tiny elephant shrews to the UK. While the bowerbird and thrush are winging their way to Wuppertal, at the Ark, another pair of rare birds have arrived. Bird enthusiast Stuart is especially excited.
Very expensive birds.
Stuart's one of the Ark's longest-serving staff. He's worked with everything from big cats to barn owls.
I do like my birds. I'm one of these saddos that, go bird watching,
These are yellow-naped Amazons with a blue mutation. To collectors, they're the most valuable birds in the world and can cost $20,000 or more.
I've seen them in pictures and stuff on the internet, but I've never seen them actually in the flesh. Amazons are green, but these are blue. And where this Amazon should have a yellow nape, it's actually got a white nape. I'm well chuffed to see them. As Amazons, yellow napes are my favourite, but to see them, a blue mutation is pretty special.
The parrots are on their way from a breeder in Kuwait to a British collector with deep pockets. They may be the most expensive animals in the building, but they still face the same rigorous checks. There's no first-class service here.
Hello. How are you? You want to come up? Me? What are you doing? No, you're not at all friendly, are you? He's just a little bit nervous, that's all. Who can blame him? I've got a big, scary mask on. You can quite clearly see his white nape there, but it actually should be yellow if it was the normal colour.
First job, check these VIP birds are who they say they are.
For them to come into the country, they have to be either microchipped or have a ring. It's just a way of identifying them as the individual bird that's on the paperwork.
Right on cue, the parrot presents its ID ring.
So it's 64312 HJV.
Now for bird 2.
HJV 23529.
Parrots and papers match. Next, they need feeding. No champagne and caviar, but Stuart is going to try a little harder than their previous handler.
I did notice in the box they had a bit of carrot, which not really spoiling them, are they? Because it gets quite dry in the hold, it's a good idea to give them a little bit of fruit where they can get a little bit of moisture. And they generally love grapes because they're quite high in sugar content. It's not great for them in large amounts, but it's a little bit of a treat for them. The reason why they're so unusual is, one, you wouldn't see them in the wild. You can do occasionally, but you don't often get colour mutations in the wild, so they don't last very long due to the predators can see them a lot quicker and a lot easier. And so it's a very man-made, captive bred type thing. Oh, it could be some nice stuff now. There you go.
Once the parrots have had food and water, Stuart just needs to wait for customs clearance.
Oh dear, a bit scared of a bit of water. He's more inquisitive than scared.
It won't be long before this pair of pricey parrots are on their way to their lucky new owner. After 7 hours on the road, Matt, Anne, the thrush and the bowerbird have reached their destination.
Just going to see Andre. Hello, Andre, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Very well.
That's right.
Hi.
Wuppertal Zoo's tropical aviary houses 120 rare exotic birds and a successful breeding program for seriously endangered species. Male and female fawn-breasted bowerbirds look identical. Only DNA sampling can tell them apart. Wuppertal have just one fawn-breasted male. Everyone's hoping today's arrival is a female.
We will take a feather sample of the bowerbird because we don't know the sex yet. And there's one laboratory in Germany who can test the sex even of the bowerbirds with DNA sampling. And then we'll hopefully get the greatest answer we can get that this is a female.
Andre will keep his fingers crossed for the DNA results. Matt and Anne will be back in the morning to collect the elephant shrews and for the daunting task of rounding up and loading 4 of the wolves. At the Ark, there's no rest in the animal arrivals. Mel is on the late shift and on her way to a type of dog she's never seen before.
Okay, so just had a dog come in from Bulgaria. Just gonna go over here and have a look. It's a pointer cross Dalmatian. I've never seen a pointer cross Dalmatian. Just go and see how he's doing, get his chip so we can do his paperwork.
The pointer cross Dalmatian is called Chewy Lou. She's just arrived on a 3-hour flight from Bulgaria to start a new life in the UK.
We're just gonna get this little dude out so I can check his bed's dry and then change it, give him a bit of water as well because he's just been on a plane. Hello, do you want to come out? He's very waggy. He's very cute. Right, let's get your microchip. Basically, the microchip's the way you tell that the information in a passport belongs to that dog. Otherwise, they could write anything down, it could be any dog. He looks a lot more like a pointer than he does like a Dalmatian. He's not as big as a Dalmatian, he's not as crazy as a Dalmatian. I'm quite into dog breeds. I do like to read up on the rare ones, the unusual ones. I'm very much a dog person. Right, he's all dry in there. He's got some water. Do you want to go back in your box? Come on. Come on.
In reception, Chewy Lou's owners Andrew and Segundina are waiting. It turns out this stray has quite a backstory.
I was working on a project in Bulgaria for the last 2 years, and the project's done. It's a NATO facility, and it's a training base in the Balkan Mountains in Mokran. And there were some dogs that were there, and the mother wasn't fixed, and she had puppies, and there was one that I fell in love with, and it came time for my birthday, and I never had a dog, and I adopted her. My plans were originally to have the dog hunt truffles, because they have truffles in Bulgaria in the mountains. She eats the truffle if she found the truffle. That's how she got her name, Chulu.
As Chuilu's paperwork is all in order, her stay at the Ark is brief, but her owners are still desperate to see her.
It's my baby. It's our baby, it's our kid, so hopefully she traveled well.
And right on cue, it's time for Chuilu to go.
Oh, good girl. Shall we go?
Here she is.
Here she
Hello,
is.
girl. Hello, babies. Hello, babies. Chulu.
How did you go? How did
You all stressed out?
No,
Huh?
she's happy as Laurie.
How was your first flight, baby?
There's...
Another happy reunion at the Ark.
All right. Bye. Thank you.
Next morning in Germany, Matt and Anne are heading for the wolf enclosure. Three of the Arctic wolves have made their own way inside during the night and are already in boxes. But the wolf that was challenging the pack's alpha female is still out in the enclosure. The zoo team have no choice. They must go in and catch her. There are 6 wolves left in the pen. 6 sets of jaws, twice as powerful as a German shepherd's. Even with 9 keepers armed with brooms, Matt and Anne are keeping well out of the way. "18-year-old Joe from Essex has been doing work experience at the Ark. Today is his last day and his last chance to impress if he's to be considered for a full-time job. But the morning shift is well underway and there's no sign of Joe.
I'm supposed to be doing some animal handling with Joe today, but he hasn't turned up. It's his last day and he was after a job, so I don't know how professional that looks.
Deputy Manager Susie is not impressed.
It's the final day to kind of assess him and see whether he can be a member of our team or not. And unfortunately, he's 2 hours late already, so not a great start.
The staff here are a close-knit team, and when one person is missing, everyone feels it.
When we've got loads and loads of pets to do and lots of resident animals to clean out, it can make quite a difference.
Finally, Joe arrives at 10:30.
Morning.
Joe, the oversleeping work experience you do.
Need a watch.
Work experience at the Ark isn't just about handling interesting animals. There are essential dirty jobs to do as well. Joe gets stuck in. At the end of the day, he'll get his final assessment from Susie. But will he have made the grade? At Wuppertal Zoo, the keepers are relying on numbers to discourage the pack from attacking. Matt and Anne are wisely leaving this to the experts. The keepers need to separate the 4th wolf and get her into a travelling crate.
Got one here? That's our wolf.
The longer it takes, the more stressed and unpredictable the wolves can become. But this wolf has no intention of making it easy.
Okay, so they've just chased him into the corner. They're just about to push him into the indoor house so they can get ready for loading.
They've done it. She's caught. The remaining wolves seem disturbed.
They recognize that something happens here, and some members of the pack are now missing.
The pack has been split up, and Andre is convinced this is the right thing to do.
In the end, it's always sad if you have to give away wolves or animals, but I know that they have a good place where they can live, so this is not so sad. The animals are the most important thing. It's much higher than everything else.
I feel a little bit sad for the keepers because obviously animals that they've come in and seen every day. So it's probably a bit like saying goodbye to a pet, really.
4 wolves safely loaded. But these aren't Matt and Anne's only passengers. They also have the 4 elephant shrews to take to the UK.
So here they are.
Fantastic.
The shrews.
Thank you very much, Andre.
We wrote the sexes and the birth dates on the crates as
Perfect.
well.
Okay.
So this is already the pair.
Yep.
And the other have not been yet together.
Andre, these are just brilliant. Thank you very much, as always.
As always, and see you
Excellent.
hopefully soon.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
All passengers loaded, Matt's wildlife bus starts the return journey. At the Ark, it's time for Joe's assessment.
I hope I've done enough to impress them. I've made sure I'm always trying to keep busy, just trying to make a good impression. All that's left now is for me to go and talk to Susie, have a little chat with her before I leave, and then back to university.
Now he'll find out if arriving late this morning has undone 2 weeks' hard work.
What happened this morning? You were late.
Oh, sorry. I woke up at 7:15. I was like, get another half hour sleep, and then just didn't wake up until the cleaner walked in.
Okay.
Sorry.
It happens, and you know, typically it can happen on work experience just when you're trying to make a good impression. So obviously that's
just on my last day.
That's really important,
Yeah,
but
sorry about
we'll
that.
put that down to an accident. So, have you enjoyed your time here?
Yeah, it's been amazing.
What's been the best bit?
Seeing the unusual stuff come through, I guess.
Yeah, you've been really lucky actually, because sometimes students come in and actually it's just dogs and cats.
Nothing else.
You've had everything. You know, you ask lots of questions. You're very diligent in the tasks that you complete, and those are all attributes that we're looking for in people. In terms of areas to improve, it's, you know, your punctuality. What are your kind of career aspirations?
I'd like to work something like this eventually, hopefully. If not like a zoo, wildlife park, something like that.
Yeah, well the jobs here don't come up too often, and when
Yeah.
they do come up we have a lot of applications, but having said that, if we do advertise a job, I'd be really pleased to see your application on our table.
Oh,
It's been
brilliant.
good having you here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you for having me.
No, you're welcome.
See you later.
Joe's time at the Ark is over. But Susie still has plenty to do. Matt and Anne are dropping off the elephant shrews before taking the Arctic wolves to their new home.
Absolutely amazing.
Back of your vans now.
It does, it's the wolves.
Elephant shrews are originally from southern Africa. In the wild, they feed on insects and fruit, which is exactly what they'll be getting here.
It's really important they don't have much more than about 3 ml cubes of food, because they can't eat it and they can start choking on it otherwise. So yeah, there we go. Check this little kid out.
Oh, you're a bit funny. Hello.
Tell me that's not amazing. Fabulous. Thank you very much, Luce.
Before Matt hits the road again, there's just time for the Ark staff to see the prize cargo of Arctic wolves. Mel's come in specially to have a close look at them.
Which one's which?
How chilled out it is. It's just like lying there like a dog.
Yeah.
Terrifying if you was in the wrong situation with them, but quite cute behind in a safe environment. It's so special.
Everybody's had a quick look. The wolves are okay. So we're just going to head off now, up to Lincolnshire. We want to get the wolves there as quickly as we can. They're pretty relaxed, no problems at all. Aren't you, lads and lasses?
Matt and Anne have only 160 miles left to cover before they and the wolves can rest. Meanwhile, Susie is looking after the elephant shrews.
They're really cute, actually. Yeah, they've got quite sort of funny movement and things like this. He's sort of interested in those crickets, but I think he's more concerned that we've taken the lid off the box and scaring him a little bit. We're going to just change the paper. It's a little bit damp in there from the veg, so we'll change that and make him as comfortable as possible overnight.
Elephant shrews were jokingly so named because of their trunk-like nose. In fact, they're not true shrews. And bizarrely, recent DNA studies have shown that these tiny mammals are more closely related to elephants. Their fruit's gone, and the mealworms are going down a treat.
They're quite active, quite perky, but no, they all look really good. They're very cute.
Cute or not, they're only staying at the Ark overnight. Tomorrow, they'll be taken to their new home at a nearby education centre. 16 hours after leaving Wuppertal Zoo, Matt, Anne and the 4 wolves have arrived in Lincolnshire.
It's been a long day and the zoo are all prepared and waiting for them. So the wolves are going to get a good long drink, good bed of straw and a nice quiet evening.
The staff at Woodside Falconry and Nature Centre are ready to put the wolves into a temporary holding pen for the night.
Now we've got to head out.
Slowly, tentatively, the wolves explore their new surroundings.
The ideal really is to get them all out as a group into the smaller area before you let them outside. Obviously they're a pack, so it'll be better for them. Always make some encouraging noises down that corner.
For centre manager Neil, this is the culmination of months of planning.
They're stunning. They really are stunning.
Underneath it with Gaia. She's the one that was fighting with the alpha female. So Andre's convinced that actually you can have a nice stable little group now.
Overnight, this new pack will be left to settle and bond indoors.
That's it, and we're down.
If all goes well, tomorrow they'll be let out into a holding enclosure. In Germany, the DNA results revealed the fawn-breasted bowerbird was male, so the hunt for a female continues. The valuable white-naped Amazon parrots arrived safely at their new home, and in Lincolnshire, the wolves have started to settle in.
This, for first time out, is brilliant.
It's going absolutely fantastic. Couldn't go any better.
The compound is just for a day or two to make sure they're all eating, they're all taking a drink, and they get their big outside pen in a few days' time.